Welcome back, everybody. Somehow I made it. Oh my god, I thought I wasn't even going to make it tonight. Man, what a palaver. Hello, everybody. It's 8:30 on a Sunday, 27th of April. A couple of things I want to take a look at today. Hello, everybody. Hello, Louis. Hello, Fernica. Hello, everybody. Hello, Kurt Curtis. Thank you all for joining. Will it be Sunday chill, though? Kinda. Okay, kinda. I kind of shot myself in the foot there. Basically, I went off into the wilderness with my cameras and I shot a load of stuff, which will eventually show up on the main channel. But I kind of ended up in a storm drain. If you're watching live or you're watching later, don't forget, there is a Discord channel. We interact up there. We share links and stuff. Here is where I was trapped. I went off the beaten trail and took a while to get back to society. It wasn't even that far away, to be honest, but, you know, I think I got a couple of other pictures here to show. Did I put them in general? There we go, check this out. I found this awesome storm drain that never gets used, and so I decided to film a bit there. That's at the very end of it that you won't be able to see. So there is water in it, you just can't see it. Anyway, and yeah, I was like trying to find my way back because there's a path, but I went off the path to find somewhere with good lighting. It was quite funny in the end. Anyway, let's get back on track. So, things that have happened. So let me just see the videos that are coming up. So I'm far away from the mic, guys. Don't worry, the volume's fine. Okay. So then, text engine, video text and video text v2. We've demoed them on recent lives. So here we have an example of the output. So this would be like a promotional, you can make promotional stuff for one of your books. This would be for the Empire trilogy. This isn't a character, but it is using the style. So it's a character from the world. Okay. Dragon is here. Civilization disappears as you go towards my lands. He would have done what a bear does. Did you remember to travel with paper? I guess it was actually in the Welsh direction, or was it? No, actually it wasn't. It was in the direction of the Oxfords and the Swindons. But never nowhere near that far, guys. I was literally just outside my town, that's all. Okay, so yeah, video text engine. So you get your video, you put your text, and you can use, text over time or vertical text with the same true type font. It's all very cool. So that's number one. And then obviously by doing interpolation, I've got this is 60 frames per second in 1920 by 1080 and 9:16 aspect ratio for shorts and reels. And obviously you can see this is based on the artwork for the book which it's promoting. So there it is, it's all there. The next thing I want to talk about is hyperscale printing. Now, hyperscale printing, we're going to go through the workflow in a minute, and there will be a full tutorial on this, but you've probably seen it before. I'm like reviving an old technique from 2023, an automatic 11-11-11 method, because back then we couldn't do anything, really. Everything was like it was time, anything you try to do was time. Too many steps, too much CFG, add one pixel, right? And obviously this was the way that we got around it, but then I've updated it for a modern print technique. So this is how you do wall art with A4 or A2. I'm going to explain it. Let's see if I can find image sharing. Here we go. So here is an example of the result. This is 9 A4 prints. Okay, now obviously there's a border there, okay? Now there's two ways you can get around the border. Number one, the guillotine. You cut it off, trim it. Number two, you actually print to the border of the paper, and that takes some printer finesse, you know what I mean? You've just got to set it up on your printer to print to the edge of the paper. But by default, this is what it'll look like, right? Now I'm not going to bother adjusting it because I actually want to immediately move up to A2. Okay, or A3 actually, so we're going to do A3 first. Because I don't have a wall big enough for A2 anyway. But I think you can see what's happening here, and it will all make more sense when we go into the workflow. Alright? So this is specifically, you've got your best work, and you want to turn it into a giant poster. But you don't have an A1 printer, and even if you did, that's not even that big anymore. You want bigger than that. You want A0. You want A000. You want to do the side of the wall of a house. You want to do a billboard. Well, this is how you do it. First you input the image, you then do image tile. I'm doing 3x3. Then you use my image size adjuster on SDXL. What that's going to do is turn every single tile into a 1024 by 1024 aspect ratio. So clearly, if I tile this by 3x3, so right now it's 1664, yeah? So 1664 divided by 3 is... That's not right at all. How did I do that? What just happened? 1664. Oh, God, I pressed times. Dumbass. I was like, what? It's blowing my mind, man. Right. 554.66. Yeah? And then 2688 divided by 3, 896. So it's going to create, each tile is going to be 896 tall and 554 wide. Yeah? So it depends how big the image you're going to give to this, alright, I'll be real, okay? But the point I'm trying to make is that it's going to make sure that 896 by 896 by 554 is an SDXL. So it'll either go up or down. It'll make it bigger or smaller, okay? But here, let's just do it live. Let's just do it live. So if we take this image, right, for example, robot with harp. Okay, now I'm going to do 4, 4. In fact, let's do 5x5. I just need to make it sure it's got the same number at the other end. Okay, 5x5, yeah? So, we're going to take this image, cut it into a grid of 5x5. In fact, you know what, I don't really need to do 5x5 columns. Let's do 4 columns, because it is taller than it is wide. 3x3 is a good starting point. It doesn't really matter, but anyway, if I run this, it's going to resize every single tile to an SDXL. So this is clearly going to be smaller. It's going to be each tile will be much smaller. So it's going to upscale each image slightly, yeah, using Lanxos, right? And then that's going to go into our upscale model on batch 1. So you can run this on a CPU with 4 GB. Sorry, a GPU with 4 GB of VRAM. We then do color match using the each tile. So each of the original tiles is used to color match the upscaled result. We then untile, which is why I'm calling the workflow untile, right? Because what it's going to do is put them all back together again. And then what I've got here is I've got a 1-to-1 crop check where we take a sample with a 512 by 512 crop from the center, and then we rescale the originals so it matches and then concatenate them next to each other. This is a sample for testing. I'll put it on, but you don't even need it. That's why it's disabled. Finally, we save the image, which I actually make it, I don't have the preview out because it might be so huge that it's just going to lag everything, so just minimize it. The pieces are fine because they're all like little 4K images usually. They should be all 4K. Every tile will be 4K. So, you know, if you imagine you have 5x4, where's my calculator gone? right? So just imagine you're working 4096 by 4096, so 1024 by 1024 each tile, yeah, potentially. So if you had 5 tiles, right, it's going to be 20k. Do you see where I'm going with this? So like it doesn't even matter now, you know, you could do 10 times 4096, so 10 by 10, it's going to be 40k. Like, the numbers are relevant at this point. And people go, oh, what about the seams? Well, the point about what we're doing is we're making pages for printing, so we don't care about the seams because they are going to be separate anyway. And you can just put the seam in the bleed area if you want, and it gets cropped out. Like I said, normally when you have a big grid, people kind of expect there to be a bit of a line. They're not, you know, you're not going to get crucified if there's a bit of a seam, whatever, that's visible. Anyway, let's run it and find out. I'll show you. Okay. I did try this with color correction, but as it happened, I just improved the workflow. I didn't need to do that. So, let's see. The Hills Have Eyes. I still haven't seen that movie. I'll have to put it on my shortlist, Dragon. So here we go. This runs pretty quick considering what it's actually doing. It's doing 5x4, so that's 20 upscales. I took all the previews out. I used to have a load of previews everywhere, but it works, so I don't need them anymore. It just slows it down to make all of the images at each step anyway. So you can see here, look, we've got the pieces of the image, and they go together. That's the one that you saw. Have I forgotten to change it? I forgot to change the thing. Doing the untile. We broke something. Index 20 is out of bounds for dimension 0 with size 20. What have I broken? 5. Oh, I forgot to change that back. That's my bad. Other way. Yeah, they've got to match, which makes sense, right? The tiles have to match. Right, so now it's going to save the image. God knows what that is. It'll be 20 by 25, 20 by 24. I'm not sure, actually. We'll find out. I mean, it's going to be this image. It's going to be this. But it's going to be in pieces. And each piece is, like I said, a 4K. Safe 4K aspect ratio, so you know, everything adds up. Look at how long it takes to save the image, guys. It's still saving. So yeah. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. So we've got the image. Now, I'm not going to open it up because it will just lag out. But what I can do, this isn't like a magic rabbit. I do have the image right here. But as you can see, even Windows is struggling. Go on, show me the preview, Windows. I don't think you can do it. How big is it, Windows? 14,000 by 23,000? 333 megabytes. It's a single image, guys. So what it's doing now is it's making me the pieces, which I would then print out. The file size is 333 megabytes, Dragon. And like I said, this is only using 5x4. So, you know, I could put this to like 8x8. I mean, should we see if we can, look, there it is, look, there's the image. Here, look. It's not, look, can you, look. Where are the tiles? Where are the tiles? Show me the tiles. Where? Wait, is that a line, or is that from the original? Is that from the original, or is that? Where are the lines at? Where are the tiles at? I can't wait. I mean, no. Wherever I see a vertical line or anything, it stops. It doesn't keep. You know what I mean? That doesn't look 12K to me though. That doesn't look, I mean, it does say here 14 by 23. I think we need Photoshop for this one. I don't think Windows is equipped. Whoa! I don't think Windows is equipped for this. Oh my god, it's reading the PNG, guys. Give it just 2 secs. Alright, so we only need to do one thing, which is levels, mates. Huh. Huh. Okay. Wait. I mean, you can see like a grid, but it's not a checkerboard. It's just stuff. I said delete it. Let me have a look at the input image again. Oh my god, comfy. Whoa! Comfy's lagging hard. Yeah, all of those square bits, all those square features are already in it. So yeah, I don't see, do you see what I mean? I don't see, look, it was completely sliced, guys. Look at this. Oh my goodness me, I can't log in. Come on. Oh my god, right, I can't even look at that. Minimize it. Can't even look at that. Whoa! It's fine, it works. Whoa! Okay, there we go. Look, see, if you minimize them, no lag, right? It's because they're giant images and they're on the screen, you know? It's much easier just to use a crop. Ah! I can see a line. That's clearly a line. That's clearly where 2 tiles meet. So, get in Photoshop, and that should be the middle of the image. It's here. Aha! We found it. There is a seam. But the image is so big you don't even notice it. That's really funny. How'd you fix the seams? Just make the image so big no one will notice. Look, when you actually zoom in, it's actually really obvious. Now we've found it. So like I haven't even, there is no, like, we haven't even actually attempted to fix the seams. Look at that, there, right there. But if I zoom out, oh, see, now we know where to look. We know where to look. We can see this whole area here is all patched and weird. Yeah, now you can really see. You can really see where the edges of the tiles were and stuff. Okay. But when you look at the image itself, it's good. Dragon says, it's similar to being so big you can't see the walls. Interesting phrasing. But, you know, there it is. Alright, so we had to get in Photoshop to actually find the... We had to get in Photoshop to actually find it, but yeah, this thing is how I knew it was there, because I did this. So I would be able to catch, well, sometimes the edge doesn't line up there, but obviously it's a math thing about if the number of columns is even, there's going to be a line down the middle, and so that means that the center 512 crop will have that line. But obviously if you change it from an even number of columns, it might not have a center line, which is actually why it's good to use an odd number, because then, you know, a lot of the time the eye will be drawn to the middle of the image, and then that's how you can spot it. But anyway, let's pick a different image, because I mean, that one's cool, but she's got like black eyes for some reason. Do we have another one? I mean, that one's pretty cool. I don't know if I'd want my entire wall painted like that though. It's something funky. These are all 2 square. That's pretty funky. That's just cheeky. That one's nice. How many fingers has she got? She actually has 4 fingers, but it looks like it tried to make another one. Very strange. Not shape. I suppose it does look a bit like that though when you're playing. Yeah. Not the best image I've got though, you know what I mean? Got quite a lot of stuff from the Empire collection. That one was pretty cool. I've already made that one. Could do it again. Believe. That one's pretty good. I think we should go into the outputs rather than just like sketchily taking random cherries. Let's see what we got in here. So, what have I got? What have I got? Damn goods. Is that all the heads? Yeah. That's the in-painting, the head in-painting. We did a whole bunch of these. I think that was the one that was mostly finished. We did a bunch of in-painting in the background, clean it up. Okay, so what about Empire scenes? Ooh, if only, oh, there's loads of them in one place. Right, I need to, okay. Let's find a good one. Sometimes their heads are just a little bit too big, and I'm being perfectionist. Which is funny, because it's like super abstract. Oh, that's interesting. But it does sometimes. Look at those hats. Ah, yes, a single soldier in a strange and bleak environment. I think this is what I'm looking for. These are a bit too goofy. Glitched out. Yes, it was an experiment with a depth tool I built for somebody. And I decided to run my pumps through it with, you know, to really sort of give it a, what do you call it, brute force test, I guess. That's the same depth map. Oh no, it's not. It's just from the same location, I think, it's the pedals. I think this one looks better, even though this one's got the gun up. Let's make that a bit bigger so we see glittering. I hit the button and it was like somehow we were in like a chain reaction there. Let's get the one that I liked. There we go. Put that one in there. So that's 24,032 by 1792. Run that. Oh, wait. Stop. I keep forgetting to change my project name. It's a number. I'm going to say A3 post. Right. Run. Do a less noisy one and we can check for tiles. Oh, there's going to be tiles, but that's the thing. I'm printing off each tile as a separate piece of paper, so the edge doesn't matter. By the time I put the pieces back together again, there's going to be an edge. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be an edge. Like, if I was to put a white border around every single tile, would it matter that the seams show? You see what I mean? Like, because when you actually present it, once you print it out, like, obviously I could mess around with the printer settings and try and get rid of that bleed area, you know, like force it to print up to the edge. But then how do you know that it isn't going to let one pixel off the edge? That's why there's a bleed area, right? So that means you're going back to a guillotine, and you're going to have to just chop the edges off if you really want to be perfectionist. You know what I mean? I guess you could, like, measure it and get it pixel perfect, but like I said, hyperscale. So yeah, you can see the line. Now there is another way, another way of doing it to get rid of that, but that would be in painting the lines. I've also seen a new, well, it's not new. There's also some other nodes. Oh no, I completely busted it. You tried to load. Huh? You tried to load 10 gigabytes? Okay, so I broke it. Ah, I know. I'll take the number of tiles down, not up. Whoops. It's going to be too big anyway. I don't know why I was making it up. Because like I say, when you actually look at how big these come out, let's see, this one is 14 by 23 and this one is 9 by 15,000, you know what I mean? So is it surprising that I'm like bumping up against limits here? No, not really. So yeah, we just take the number of tiles down to something more reasonable. And then we're back in business. So like I said, if I wanted to make it bigger, I can push the number up again, can't I? Right? Yeah, I think that you will be able to, I think that you will be able to see them, but because of the fact that you're printing each tile as a separate piece of paper, regardless of how big that piece of paper is, do you know what I mean? Like, how seamless are they going to go back together? You know what I mean? Usually what people do is they actually leave a little white edge out, because when you stand back, you can't even see the white edge anymore anyway, because it kind of, do you know what I mean? Like, the distance between the tiles gets smaller, and it's like an optical illusion anyway. If you really want to crop them off, then everyone knows what you do. You get a craft knife and slice the white bits off. That's what bleed area is about. But yeah, I think it will be fine. And like I said, when you're looking at a bunch of different pieces of paper, human eye doesn't go, oh, there's an edge there. Because, do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's the edge of the piece of paper. Yeah, there's an edge. And I doubt many people would be like, oh, that pixel on that edge is one shade higher than the pixel on the other edge. But yeah, I've done my best to make the joins good. I know that the upscaling is good. It's good quality upscaling. There are some artifacts, nothing is perfect, right? But yeah, let's take a look at how that one came out and actually do it. Oh yeah, it went into a new folder. So A3 poster, Hyperscale tiles. So the actual image is 14K by 10K. It's 126 megabytes. Windows can't. Oh, Windows is trying to load it for us. It's having a bit of trouble loading it. But there it is, and like I said, if I go and look at the bits, the bits will be up this end. Oh yeah, I made them smaller, didn't I? We go and have a look at the folder. So we got... oh look, there it is. See, you can just see it right there in the UI. It goes together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's got the art style that was in the lore. It hasn't like changed it. If anything, it's got a little bit vague. Right? So anyway, there's only one thing left to do, of course, which is to make a new project, go to print, presets, A3. Oh, I should have gone landscape. Hang on, let me just check. Ah, yeah, it is landscape. It is landscape. This has got a really weird. Ooh, that's not going to work. It's a really weird aspect ratio. I mean, it'll work, but it'll get like skewed. I don't want to crop it. Let me get the measurements. It's yeah, let's just make a new one. It's just quicker to make a new one because I can just portrait it up. I mean, see what I mean? It's slightly off. But then what I do is I just overlap them. So don't skip. What I made the mistake I made the first time was I stretched them out to match the page, and look, it doesn't even look like there's anything here. It's really funny. So I'm not going to stretch them out this time, because what I'll do is I'll overlay the, you know what I mean? I'll move the pieces, and when you put them together, you overlap the edges, and then you don't have to. Less work. Boy. It's not doing things because stupid Adobe Cloud has hidden itself on my third screen. I don't care. Done. Oh, done. And you might think, oh, why are you doing this, Johnson? It's just maybe it's force of habit, maybe it's laziness, maybe it's the fact that Photoshop will allow my printer to control the color profiles without me having to mess around, and actually it'll give you a lot less grief if you do it. If you just do it this way. I wouldn't be surprised if like GIMP and other free alternatives can also. I'm not saying use Photoshop because blah blah blah. I don't care what you use, guys. If you can get the job done and you can get it done for free, get it done. All I'm saying is that when I press print now, why is it? Look at this, it's sort of like off the edge of the screen in a strange way. It doesn't actually fit on my screen. Give me a sec. Photoshop doesn't actually fit on the screen. Okay, there we go. I'll just move it over so you can actually see the layers. Right. So anyway, I've got these layers, right? So obviously if I just go so if I just have the layer on, and you know what, I'll keep the white there, it's fine. Normally I delete that, but it's fine, right? And I'm not even going to save the document. I'm just going to go straight to printing. I mean, like, you could save a PDF, you could save this, you know, Photoshop document even, you know, if you want to come back to it, but I doubt I'll ever print this again, so, should be in landscape, my guy. okay, it looks good. So anyway, like I said, you have normal printing, you have the printer manages colors. You can say Photoshop, but sometimes you actually have to get a color profile from the paper manufacturer that you're currently working with. So you can, if you don't know what you're doing, you just want to say printer manages colors, and that's actually really useful because you want it, that's RGB, all this good stuff here. Anyway, the other thing I do is I say scale to fit media, and you'll notice that the print resolution is going to go up, and see that it's going to scale it to the media because it knows how big the page is. I haven't measured the page, right? My signal is very low. Sorry, electronic music. I have the microphone 6 miles away from where I'm sitting. How's that? Is that better? Is that better? I'm just stuffing my face with coffee. Alright. So anyway, this doesn't look very interesting right now because there's nothing there. You know what I mean? It's just a white page. Stop. Right. Okay, that means I messed up. Did I not click the button? There, see, scale, no clipping, right? I'd rather it scale it to the page and there's no clipping than there's clipping, and then when I put my pages together, it's missing a chunk. So then, you know, if you had two pieces of a face and you put them together, the lines don't meet up. I'd rather have a white line. I thought someone was kicking my door and it's just the printer turning itself on. Alright, hang on. Let's get on with it because I get distracted with, like, you know, explaining things. So it takes forever if I explain everything, right? We're just repeating the same thing. We're going to enable a layer and we're going to print it. We're going to enable a layer, we're going to print it. We're going to enable a layer, we're going to print it. And it's giving me loads of errors. Why is it giving me errors? Give me another error. Why does it feel like these aren't the right layers? That's the bottom, that's the bottom, that's the bottom, that's the middle, that's the middle, that's the middle, that's the top, that's the top, that's the top. Alright, it's fine. So yeah, 9 images. It's printing them right now. And like I said, sometimes people go, oh no, look at this. It doesn't look good. But when it prints out, it's not going to look like this. You lose a lot in the print. As in, like, some of these strange artifacts and stuff just don't translate. Because, like, look at it. It's literally made of trees. You know how I trained my ESR GAN on landscape images? Look at what happens when you zoom in. So I'm zooming in on the floor. Look at this. Look how crazy. I find this to be crazy. You see this a lot, right? Look. It's hedges. Hedges. Trees. Trees in the distance. Distant horizon trees. Clouds in the sky. Look. It's literally made up the image from all of... Because the funny thing is, right, every other ESR GAN model I've ever used, I don't know what it was trained on. But with this one, I know exactly what it was trained on because I took all those pictures. I remember this sunset. I took this... I could probably find something that would be similar. It won't be the same, it'll be similar. You'll be like, oh wow, it's kind of got the same color gradient, and it's kind of got the same pattern in the sky, and it's kind of got the same sort of distant trees. But you'll see this in ESR GAN. If you have it like, because this is huge, you know what I mean? This is you get this big and you start to see how the sausage is made. Look, you've got all these different like dimensions of hedge and tree. But when we zoom out, they're rocks on the ground, they're pebbles. And it's the same here, look. Look at this. That is a field with trees. Look. That is a distant field with trees and a hedge. And then we get another sky with a, you know, like you can see trees going off into the distance with like a lake. Like I remember taking this picture Look at it. This stuff is so crazy to me when you see it. And you'll be like, yeah, so what, Johnson? It's just a field. And I'll be like, yeah, but zoom out. No, it's not. It's just the ground. It's a shadow. That was a shadow of the dude. With like... It's so crazy. Can we get like a different picture? Okay, so... And look, again. Rocks. Rocks on the ground, right? Hedges. Hedges. It's like having a tesseract and you're peering into a different dimension. Like everything is made up of Johnson Landscapes. I told you when I brought the upscaler out, it's Johnson Landscapes, right? But I didn't know how right I was. Look, every little bit of it is actually... Look, there's a village. There's a distant village. So crazy. Yeah, the image is made up of billions of scaled images of my images. Look at it. I love this stuff, man. Look how clear that is. You can see it. It's just... This is, by the way, why diffusion is better than real Sargan, but this is still good. You know what I mean? It's still good. I'm trying to do this. There's no nature in this image, you know? So it's like, maybe use an upscaler that's trained on this art style, and then it's going to get interesting. Because think about it. That means that if you zoom in on your art, it's made up of even more of your art. I get a kick out of that. It's like, oh, you like putting art? Yeah, you like art? And we put art in your art. Put your art in your art. But yeah, it just blows my mind because, you know, you look at it and you think, oh yeah, it's just some rubble and some people in the distance. They look a bit like people, but they're not people. They're like sci-fi buildings or something. Look how crazy that is. See, I want to just crop this and then put it through image to image and say a bunch of sci-fi skyscraper things and like restyle it, you know, feedback loop, mine those latent beasties out. That's how all the best data sets get made. A little bit of incantation. Okay. So yeah, like I said, this was something I've noticed, and the only reason that I'm noticing it is because I'm blowing things up to such an extreme size, you know? Like some of the images that we've been looking at are effectively 50k from, they should have been 800 by 600. So we've like blown them up to a completely different dimension and then like upscaled them, and yeah, it's not fair, right? Basically, it's not fair. But you can see, this is the dude, right? This is one of the soldiers. Let's have a look at this broken leather effect on... Oh, it's trees, of course. Of course it is. Of course it's trees. I love it. Everything's made up of trees. Look, see, if I took that there, you'd think picture of a hedge on the side of a brick wall. Right? No. It's a rusty pole. Oh, no way. Okay, so the gold pattern on his lapel is actually bushes. It's very fractal. I'm really into like fractals, all that stuff. The kaleidoscope is a good example. Not, you know, I don't have a kaleidoscope, but yeah. See, it's trying to make a tree. Thing is, though, I will say this is going to be really good at doing landscape. I haven't given it enough landscape images yet to test it. But I'm pretty confident it's going to be great. But yeah, like I said, I got a bit of a kick out of analysing these. Anyway, we printed them off. Let's make sure they haven't all gone curly. Oh, I see what's happened. Who's got two thumbs and forgot to put the A3 paper in? This guy. How many do we have? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, now I know why it was complaining. Ran out of paper. Everything's going well. This is like average. This is like what you would expect from anything. Not Nothing works. The printer needs to be reinstalled. Okay. Give me that. Time. I should get a video. Printing time, guys. If you're wondering where I've gone, I'm over here. Alright, I'm on. Come on. I have to babysit the damn thing. It's trying to do crazy stuff. Quick, get the coffee time thing up. I'm actually still here, but... Cancel. Oh my god, I'm just having to cancel every job. Okay, we've already done that. Yeah, we need to do it again. I said cancel! Cancel! How many have you cancelled? 6? Cancel, come on. Probably another one in there, yeah? Cancel. Do you know what? I am actually going to make another coffee because nightmare. Cancel. Yeah. Come on. Are we done? Oh. I think we're done. Do what the French do. Paper good. Need to change the paper. Come on. Let's do it again from the top. From the top. The tippy, the whole top. So, that one. Okay, let's do it again. I've actually got a bunch of them, by the way. They came out fine. It's what I do is I don't put enough paper in the, you know what I mean, you don't stick it all in there, you only put a, you know what I mean, in there. Because you know what's funny actually, other people in the building have actually somehow connected to my printer and then printed off their stuff to my room while it's been locked, and then I come in the morning and I've got all their documents. I'm like, yeah, you printed this off, mate, you know. So what I started doing was just not putting paper in. And so if I'm not here and someone accidentally prints something on it, it just doesn't work, does it? Because I got no paper, right? Because it was using up my ink. It's like, I wasn't really bothered about the privacy issue or whatever. I was just like, yeah, but it's using my ink up. That's not cheap. But not a big deal. Not a big deal. Something you got to keep an eye on. Hey, it didn't do anything. Hey, what's going on? Oh no, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. That's all right. Oh, out of paper. Use other things. I'm not doing it with that one. Right. Hold up. It's being a special Epsom boy. Come on. He's like, I can't find paper. Yeah, I know, but right, cancel it. I don't think that I'm choosing. Here we go. I'm pretty sure you have to choose the paper tray on the printer. All right, but for the sake of argument, come on. I don't recall. No, you have to do it. Oh. Ah. Ah. Rear, it is rear paper feeder. I'm going to try it, okay? I'm going to try it. I think it's good to keep the borders, but I'm going to try it because we were talking about it today. And if you can just change it there, that's... So it's still going to have those white areas at the edge, but I don't want to stretch the image, remember? Okay. Let's try again. Hey, now that's what I wanted to see. Right, now we can rack up the cue. Literally just Control P, enter, not a big deal. And then that's it, there's no more. Okay, so, do you know what? When I look at this, when I look at the first print, I go, no. No. So there's still something missing from the setup here. Background, we don't want to print off a white page, that would be stupid. So yeah, basically it's not stretching. It's not actually fitting in the page. So we've got it on scale to fit media. It's obviously still... Me. That's a me problem. I have to put in A3 here as well. Otherwise, duh, it's going to print A4 on A3, isn't it? But hey, you know what? when we do these demos, often it turns into like a crash course of everything that you can easily mess up if you didn't read it all. I guess that's what I just come in and intuit it or try to remember what I did last time. But anyway, yeah, so borderless. Look at this. If you see a white line on the edge of the print, move the slider to the right. Auto expand or retain size. And then so that was in the settings, and this is in the printer settings. There's probably more here that you can mess around with, like change the quality to high, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave that standard for now. It's only matte paper, it's not like photo paper or anything. So probably 300 dpi is actually too much, but whatever. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So let's just do that one. I'm going to wait for it to come out this time. Because I think this one's going to be good now. The only issue is now I'm like, where's my good A3 paper? Because this stuff is like, you know, like the A3 paper I have here is like planning paper, you know, it's not high quality or anything. And the way I see it is if you're going to waste the ink or use the ink, you may as well put decent paper through it. Why the hell I would want to do this in the first place. I'm going to be running a whole bunch of AI coaching booths at training expos here over the next couple of months. So I'm going to be like showing up and putting a booth, and everyone else is hiring and I'm not. So it's going to be a bit weird. I'm going to have to like kick my feet up and go, yeah, use ChatGPT. Are you hiring? No. Why? Because we don't have employees. You do everything yourself. It's kind of crazy, right? But I'm going to need some stuff, right? I'm going to need some stuff up behind me. I'm not going to go and pay someone to make a sign. We can make it in Comfy. We can make everything. We've got Photoshop. We've got all these different tools. We don't need to do... I've got a printer. You see what I'm trying to say? So it's going to go up on the wall behind me. I'm going to be sat there with a laptop connected to my computer here at home. And it's going to be like open season for anybody that comes on. Ask me about AI. Oh my god. Right, that came out perfectly. And it's really funny because it's almost like there's nothing on the page. You see how the only thing on this image is just a little white faint thing? Yep, I got it. Okay, that's working. Right, next. So obviously at this point, this is where I would put the A3 photo paper in if I had any, or like A3 matte, gloss. If I put some gloss in there, some heavyweight. And I do get, if you have an Epson printer, get the Epson printer paper. I know it sounds like, what? But the weird thing is, like, they do funny things with their printers, especially the good ones, so that you'll get weird, if you don't use their paper, sometimes you'll get like weird printing artifacts. So it's like, it's not worth trying to save a little bit of money on stuff like that. Just get genuine ink and genuine paper, and just don't only print out what you need to print out. Yeah, that's the way I look at it anyway. You want quality. And other people who do this full time will agree with me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just pulling advice out of my backside. So here we go. I think it's like the rollers. I think the rollers in the printers are made for a certain paper weight, and the different companies, they actually have a slightly different paper weight. But you could check. I'm not like, you know, I couldn't tell you those numbers off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up. I'm sure it's something like that. So I just want to make sure that after I've changed these settings, they actually stay. And they do. Which is nice. So I think I can reliably just start adding stuff to the queue like I was doing before. I nearly bought an A1 plotter once for cutting vinyl for car designs. But we found a company that was willing to do it and send them to us, so we didn't actually. Do you know what I mean? It was like there was a time in a past life when we got close to having to have a giant desk printer, like, you know, giant things. Right. Oh yeah, this is going to come out great. And what I've done is I've come up with an interesting way of sorting out the hanging. Okay. So for that, we're going to use my multi-billion-dollar research software. I know, it hasn't made an appearance on the stream for too long, and it's back. So it goes like this. You have an image. We cut that image up into tiles. Whatever the size of those tiles are, we cut them up. We make those into 4096, so every single image is now 4K. That's what we're actually doing. So every single tile is now 4K. We put them back together again, but we keep the separate pieces. So then we end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? Easy. Put them together, same image, just really big now. Okay? And then I was like, okay, so you've got your wall, right? So you're going to get one of these like sticky back hanger things. You know, it's like a sticky back hook, right? And then you get your glue, you know, your plastic, what's it called? Sticky back circles, right? So very simply, you've got your page and you go sticky back circle here, sticky back circle here, sticky back. Well, you don't even need the bottom ones, to be honest, but I think you might be able to make them hook up. Anyway. You only really need the top ones, I guess. And yeah, hole punch. So hole punch the middle, and through it goes. Don't really need a tutorial for put a hole in it, and you know. But the idea is then you can just swap them out. Groundbreaking stuff. How to hang up posters. I'll tell you what. Where are you going to get that anywhere else? Okay, let's have a look at the output here. What have we got? Oh, I'm going to have to find something to put this up. Now I've noticed the trees. Wait, go over here before it falls off the wall. Too late. Let's find it. Another thing that people never tell you, when the thing comes out the printer, get it under something big, flat and heavy, quick. Big, flat and heavy, to stop it from curling up as it dries. I don't know why they never tell you about that stuff. And when I say they, I mean like if you were to go on a tutorial, you know, like a course or something, we're not going to be, well, I've never seen a tutorial where they've been like, oh yeah, by the way, when you print it out, make sure that you put it on something big, flat, and then put something, you know, you basically, you've got to press it almost. And you can't do it straight away because you don't want to do it when the ink is wet. So you've got to do it when the ink's dry. But I'm literally talking seconds. seconds after the paper comes out, especially if it's not thick paper, if it's, you know what I mean, like matte or thin, it's going to start curling immediately. It's going to start curling real fast. Now, if you have an expensive printer, it'll come with a nice bed where the paper's going to come out, and it's not going to be as bad, but it is still going to happen. You know, really, if you want to do photographic type prints on like large, it's basically like gloss card. That's what it actually is. It's glossy card. Okay. Oh, I think that's the last piece coming out, and then we can put some sticky things on it and hook it up. But let me see. I wanted to show you the text engine tonight, which I think we did. Text engine workflows are up. Okay, so if you want to take any of those workflows that take a video and then add a bunch of text, that's done. They're out. And then obviously the video companion, which I use to upscale the video and, you know, put the noise, because obviously there's a bit of noise added in there, a bit of like RGB glitch, which, you know, I add to everything. And yeah, so that's up as well. In VidGen companion. Like I said, no one's really noticed any of this stuff because I've been so busy. You've got to understand, the last 2 months, do you know what? I'm surprised I've even been able to do the live shows. I've been that busy. It's my free time has been the live show. I've been working all hours other than that. Hey, they're ready. Right, let's just put this on the dryer. I actually do think it's a good idea if you can. It takes a bit of a setup, but you know, when I said you press them, do them between layers of card. Yeah, this show is actually my pleasure, literally. If you go back and check out the history, I know you guys, probably my regulars that are right here, I'm singing to the choir right now, no doubt, but who knows, you might be watching later and this is the first video you ever watched, yeah? At this moment, we're about to go into a little bit of a turning point because everything that I've been doing up until now has been 100% by hand, yeah? Because this is the funny thing, we teach AI, we use AI, but at the same time, and we embrace AI as well, and that's the thing. It's now getting to a point where the AI is starting to become a part of the creation workflow for even the channel that I'm running. Like when I started the channel, there's no AI that could help you with that. All you could do is have a conversation with ChatGPT 3.5 and it would be like, yes, and the yes, and the yes, and the yes, and the yes, right? I'm sure you all remember what that was like, 3.5 turbo, yeah? And so, like, we're coming to a point where a lot of my major projects, because I've managed to keep it going, and we're going to start seeing a bunch of content coming out soon, which a lot of people would probably say is like slop grade, right? But it's not slop. I'll say why. It's highlights. So basically you're going to start seeing highlights from this live show, which are going to appear as shorts at first, and they're going to be like 1 minute videos which will link back to the live streams, okay? And there's 2 reasons I'm doing this. Number 1 is there's a treasure trove in this 123 live streams that we've done. Some of them are like 7 hours long. It's a treasure trove of tutorials and information for someone who's trying to learn how to do generative media. And that's why we do the show. Okay, we've ended up with a vast backlog of all kinds of tutorials. All right. And so the thing is, like, what I want to do is make that more accessible, because at the moment a title doesn't tell you what's in the do you know what? Let's just cut to brass. Let's just get let's just get down to where the rubber meets the road, shall we? We had an agent analyze one of my live streams and it pulled out 24 shorts, and they were good. As in, like, you know, they were like a minute long. This is how you do this. This is how you do that, right? And that was just from one, okay? So this is why I'm saying, like, we're getting to a point where the channel is going to start running itself. But I want you to know that the live show is never going to be, I'm never going to do an avatar like, yeah, there's me, right? There's me, but I'm never going to do like a Kwebbelkopf, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to be me here doing the live show. That's point number one, because I'm a human in the loop guy, okay? So that's point number one. Even though I've got my avatar system and I show up and talk to you on screen, hello everybody, right? I'm not like trying to automate the channel. So what I'm trying to do is get an agent to tell me what are the interesting parts of my live streams and then clip them so I can approve them for being uploaded, okay? That way, people can use the shorts to find the useful parts of the live shows. It's all supposed to be like a directory so that you can find the content. Because right now, if you said to me, hey, Johnson, when did you do that tutorial on Hunyan 3D? If it isn't in the title, I wouldn't know it was in the stream. And over the course of 3 to 5 hours, we're going to cover a lot of different stuff. So this is the solution, right? But there's another important thing as well. Right now, because I've been working so hard and only doing the live shows, YouTube's been penalizing me for not uploading enough, okay? They literally show you in the CMS. They're like, you haven't been uploading as much, so you won't get as much traffic. It's like a punishment now. It's funny the way they word it. So what I'm going to do is use the shorts to keep the algorithm happy. Do you know what I mean? Because if there's shorts scheduled every day that link back to live shows that are already up, that's going to keep the algorithm happy. Okay, but then that also buys me time to make better main channel videos, because that's the real goal this summer, is to up the production quality on the main channel. So it's going to be the same tutorials, but just a little bit more involved, you know? Intro, outro, cuts, that kind of stuff. Yeah, because at the moment, you know, I've already done like 300 of these, you know, and it'll never end because there's always new models, you know what I mean? So I need to make it more interesting for me as well, so I don't get bored, you know what I mean? Because if it becomes mundane to me, I'll lose interest, right? Not in the project, just in the whole editing thing, yeah? Fernicar asked me, how was your experience back then with early AI? Well, do you know what the fun thing is? I'm actually lucky that my brain wasn't infected with pre-2022 AI knowledge. So in other words, I didn't actually know. I wasn't in AI before 2022. I was an IT consultant, so I was doing all things networking, support, and everything else, hardware upgrades, software problems. You know, I was doing anything you could show. But this is the thing. What I'm trying to do is learn the systems which are relevant, yeah? Because if I go to a big AI meeting, there are big AI meetings that you can go to, okay? And most of the guys there are older than me, and they've got they're like, well, I've been in AI for 25 years, and you're like, what? Because the thing is that what we currently know as AI from the last 3 years isn't what it was before. What it was before is completely different from what it is now. And so it's almost like if you didn't know anything before, that's actually a good thing, because the old knowledge kind of gets in the way. I'll give you a good example, right? The rules for generative adversarial networks are not the same as the rules for diffusion models. They're not the same. So like, if you have a way of thinking about how you intuit or understand GAN, it's not helpful or counterintuitive when you're trying to think about diffusion, okay? And LLMs are different again, if you see what I mean. So it's almost like it's actually a disadvantage. You know, it would be a bit like if you wanted to learn Python, but your head's full of BBC and Fortran code. You know, like you've come from a different decade. You know what I mean? Like you've skipped through 30 years, right? But yeah, so this is what I'm trying to get at. My experience with early AI was zero. You know what I mean? I was a IT guy, networking guy, website guy, technical engineer, etc., but not in the field of AI. Because if I'm being honest, AI wasn't really, it was, like I said, it wasn't really the same thing. Like all of the breakthroughs that we've seen in imaging and videos and all of that, that's got nothing to do with pre-2022. You know what I mean? So I don't mean to go off on one about it, but it's the truth, you know? Right, let's have a look at these images. I've let them press for a few minutes. Like I said, you could leave them for hours, but I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to make sure they don't immediately curl up. If you want it to be good, you want to like, not. You want to leave it pressed for longer. I am looking away from the microphone if you can't hear me, sorry about that. So there we go. So we've got our images. Perfecto. So I told you this was going to be chill out today, even though it's like I'm kind of crazy and all over the place. It is. We are chilling out, like I say. The screen hasn't moved for ages. So I've got these prints. Man, do you know how funny it is now? I've noticed that the stones are full of trees. At this scale, if you look up close, you can really see it. So that one goes at the bottom. Hang on, so I've got to look at the thing to find out. So that one goes on the right. That one goes on the right, left, middle. Where's the middle? That's really missing piece. Probably just out of order. There it is. That one goes in the middle, and then this one on the right, this one on the left, and this one actually is, yeah, where's the middle? Where's the middle? Okay, that one goes on the left. Oh, what's this? Yeah. Middle and back. Okay. Okay. So now what I do? Let's do it all now, guys. Let's do it all now. So yeah. Sticker in the corner. There we go. Stickers. What's that? My microphone has stereo. Oh my god, I really think I've been moving around a lot. Okay, so that one is top right. Top right. This one is, so just in case you're wondering, join late. We've printed this out. Each image is an A3 page, and I'm just putting the fixings on and hang it up on the wall. The fixings will come in the form of a little white circle sticker, which I'll hole punch through, and you know, you could have just hole punched it, and I'll be like, yeah, but the paper's really weak. I'm actually thinking, you know, you should probably put like, I mean, you could probably put the sticker at the back. Do you know what I mean? You could put the sticker at the back, and it's just to give it a bit of strength when you do the punch and hang it up. I don't know. Not like that crazy. All right. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Alright. And I'll put a picture up in the Discord in a minute and show on the stream, so we don't need to. Like I say, every now and then we're actually doing art things, guys, you know? Every now and then. Now watch me mess this up. Where's the punch? It's close enough. Because I do actually want to do like some painting on the street or something. That would be really fun. There just always is something more important. I missed. There's always something more important. Stop talking about it. Let's talk in more action. That's what my mother used to say. Oh dear. God rest her soul. Oh wait. Okay, there we go. That is the first 3. Bottom, middle, top. So let's see, I'll grab some stickers and some okay, so let's just think about this. So if I put hang 1 and then hang 2, maybe you can hang, you know, the next image along from the same hanger, and then they'll kind of like, it'll just overlap. I don't know. Some of that, or put them like next to each other with individual hangers. Either way, it'll do. So they come with these funky, all of these guys have got these funky, like, it's got easy add, easy remove. Oh, bloody hell, man. It's far too much technology for just a thing that sticks on the wall, right? Okay. So that side goes on the wall. This side goes on the wall. Alright, so it's actually pretty easy to set up. I thought this would be an absolute ball ache. Fortran. NVIDIA GPUs run on Fortran. Really? That's amazing. It's old code now, but it's assembly code, isn't it? Fortran. Yeah, you go to NVIDIA HQ and they're actually running on punch cards still. It's like top secret. CUDA with punch cards. Let's see, I need the top image. cable or a bit of string or something. I'm back. What's that? When will AI run Ghidra to recreate code? Good question, I don't know. Do you know what? I think if I don't reuse the hannies, I'm going to run out of... I'm going to run out. Well, the idea is that they're replaceable, so I can, you know, swap them out for whatever we print next time. Well, that was my plan. We'll see if it works. Like I said, I hope you've all enjoyed your weekend. Got a new week ahead of us. God only knows what AI models are going to get released. It's never ending. But you won't get any complaints from me. I didn't think I'd be messing around with stickers on this live stream tonight, I'll tell you that much. Okay. Come on. There we go. Two pieces in, but this is actually looking pretty good. I mean, from here, I could have done a better job of like putting things together. Always when you're in a hurry, everything's all over. Always when you're in a hurry. Here we go. Ah, Fortran and Cuda. Well done, Dragon. I see your post in the Discord there. So yeah, here is a that's something else I did. Something else someone else posted about. Yeah, I got a model that does this. I got a model called Genesis. Yes. But these are better because they're done with pure math. Right, so where am I? Right. There we go. See what I mean? The second one's a little bit on the wonk. But yeah. And it feels like I might have lost a bit of the top or the bottom as well, maybe. Yeah, totally. That's what I mean. It's going to apply the thing. It's applied. It's alleged intelligence. That's what they call it, AI, right? Alleged intelligence. As in us. We have alleged intelligence. I've just got to basically apply the stickers. Maybe I'll get a holographic. Okay. The thing is, like, that's only 2 out of 9. But I think they'll just hang there quite nicely. And the thing is, like I said, because they're the same size, and you know, you could print out any grid of 3x3 in A3 landscape, and it will just go there. That's what I was going for anyway, you know. So it's like, I'm not trying too hard, but you're getting something interesting out of it, because it shouldn't be too hard. It should be just right, like in Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It should be just right. Not too hard. Not too cold. Creator of the anime Cowboy Bebop released a new series called Lazarus, and the animation is pretty good. I mean, it's not really surprising because it's Watanabe, but the point is, it's pretty good. Yeah, anyway, just thought I'd mention it, you know what I mean? It was interesting. Yep, same thing. 3 stickers, 3 holes, and a couple of. But yeah, really I want to get the webcam involved, not on me, on what I'm doing. Because we've got a bunch of painting we have to do. There's a certain Warhammer 40,000 model that needs to be trained. And what happened was, it's quite funny. I was going to take pictures of a bunch of units which I already had, like I already had them from pre-COVID era, I guess you could say, in just sitting in a box, right? And during COVID I did buy a bit more. But I hadn't had the time to paint it. And so I started painting again around Christmas time. And you know how it is. You do it in stages when you have the time, right? And what I want to do is I want to take photos of them all and use them as an example on how to caption the data set properly, yeah? Because obviously it's like a very recognizable thing, and it's easy to see if you've got the training right or not. And that's very useful, you know? Obviously it won't actually be Warhammer 40k, it would just be like really, really, really close. And there's a couple of things I want to do. I've done the box art already, badly, and then the idea is as exercise and coaching to show how to make the captions better, and then eventually they're so good that, you know, you have the best model. So then you box art, the actual miniatures themselves, which I'll have to paint and photograph. That's very important. So they are your ones, not just any old ones, right? And then lastly, do the art style. I want to do a 40k like portrait You know, like hero art? Have you ever seen in Warhammer 40k they have hero art where they have like a guy? It's a lot like what I'm doing at the moment actually with the Victorian stuff. You know, they all look like kind of old-fashioned, but it's in the future. It's the same kind of vibe that I write, so I don't call it grimdark because I'm not like trying to crush your spirits, you know. But it was very popular in the 90s. Oi, give me my piece of paper back. Okay. It's a brand new hole punch today. And it's stuck. It's stuck. How have I managed to break it already? Side missions, side quests. Thing to poke it with. Bruh. Do I have to take this back? I can't believe that. Give me this. Give me this. Open this. I gotta push it back up. There we go. I'm not gonna rip the paper because it gets stuck. Like a hole punch goes down and it goes up. That's all it needs to do. I've used it 3 times and it's broken already. Where was this made? Where did this come from? China. Man, I don't even believe that. That's outrageous. The hole punch broke in 3 goes. 3 goes. I'm going to leave the bottom open so I can push it back up inside of it. Anyway, guys, these things happen, I guess. But yeah, a little bit of ASMR tonight. Right, I'm going to use the other one. Because the joke is I was using one side of the hole punch. You see what I mean? I'm using one side of the hole punch. And that side of the hole punch broke in 3 uses. Or what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 6. 6. Yeah. On the 6th hole punch it broke. And now it's stuck. You hear that? The spring's gone. The spring's gone. It's brand new. What? Oh, there we go. Oh, it fell out. You can't make this up. Right, I'm just going to keep working. That never happened. That never happened. Moving on. Unreal. Amazing. Does America make hole punches? There's an opportunity. An opportunity to make hole punches great again. Hang on. Ah, crap. That's the one. That's the side that's... It's broken already. I should take it back tomorrow. I should be like, yeah, so I bought this hole punch yesterday. It fell apart. They don't care, though. Do you know what I mean? Who cares? No one's gonna care. They'd be like, oh, do you want another one? Probably just give it to you for free. But yeah, they're actually like total trash. Why did you buy it? Everyone gets those from Amazon. Like they look at you funny because you bought it in a store. You know? What? Wait, you bought this here? I'm like, yeah. Okay. There it is. Oh. And by the way, you can look forward to these books coming out very soon. 40k is made in Nottingham, isn't it? Yes. Yes, I actually used to go when I was a kid, as a spotty teenager. I would be in the queue outside, waiting for like because I used to go and paint on a Saturday and play Space Hulk with my brothers. We all used to go down there like a trio. Absolute chaos. Yeah. Because they used to do that. I mean, I think they still do it, like where you can go in and just play a game. It's kind of rare. Like if you think about it, think about how many stores are there where you can go in and just play the game that they're selling. How many are there? Like even if you go into like a video game place now, the PlayStation, like they've got one. Like for example, you know, you say, oh, PlayStation. Actually, no. Often you're not allowed to play it, or it's like a demo video. And even though it has controllers, they're not actually like hooked up. And sometimes it's not even a real PlayStation. It's like empty. So, a DJZ trio. Hey, he's Furnicar is noticing the hidden symbolism in my naming conventions. No, the secret. So, I wonder, when we do the second column, could we just use one? It's easy to hang these up. It is easy to hang them up, but it's too easy to get them like 3mm off, and then it doesn't line up properly. Or I don't know. There's a little bit of give in them, so it's not the end of the world. Blue Peter tonight. Hell yeah! See, we'll like I said, I'm gonna. Yeah. I'm going to get some more pictures for you guys to look at in a minute. See, the funny thing is like, oh, let's just hang this up. Nice. Next one. Wicked. This is going well. So, like I said, I've been trying to encourage everybody to think about, you know, going further with what you've already got, because you're actually like, you're underutilizing your own assets. Like you're probably a lot like me in the way that you have a lot of images on your computer which you've made, which are probably really good, and so it's a question of what you're going to do with them. You know what I mean? Obviously you could print them in an art book. That was the first thing I did, was I arranged them into an art book. So it's just basically full color prints on each side of the both pages, and then you occasionally break it up with a little bit of text like, oh, this is my such and such collection, it's this, you know, give it just a little bit of what it is, right? And you start to think about other stuff you can do. Obviously things like t-shirts, hoodies, posters, all that kind of stuff. And then this is why we're looking at this. It's like printing at home. What does it look like? What do I need? I'll admit I'm using an A3 Plus printer because I do use it for work, right? I actually sell posters. I'm thinking about putting some up on the website that are like to do with this project though. But we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Because it's not really, you know what I mean? Really what I do. But I do have to trade them for it. So I do sell posters. And discuss Depop. But it's all like part of the educational side of the company. So you should get a big poster that says, "You can do it with AI." Okay, so you can reposition them a little bit, but not a lot. Oh no! Okay, so much wall came off with that one when I tried to move it. We're going to need to put new tape on the back of the hanger. Hey man, these are the things that happen when you try to do stuff. How dare you! All I can think when printing is papercraft and cards for table games. Well, yeah, but there you go. That could be, you could be prototyping a board game, which, if it's popular, could be sold to scale. So even that is like actually really important. That could be £1 million idea right there, Sharona. Just, you know, what was it? Somebody just recently came up with a new video game which is basically like solitaire meets poker or something. I've forgotten what it's called. I haven't even played it yet. Chiralolo or something. It's got some funny name. I'm sure you've heard of it. I haven't played it yet, but it's like a card game. It's very cool. It looks very cool. But it's not gambling though. It's like they've just like made it into an idle game. I don't know what it is. Classic Johnson. Okay, 2 more hangers. Do you know what? We're probably not even going to have enough hangers. And for some reason, I keep screwing up the. See, what I think I should have done is mark it up. I should have marked up the wall and then put the hangers up and then, but it's fine. So I was thinking to myself, well, I'm going to be like, you know, if I decide to do this, I'm going to be repainting the entire bloody room anyway. So it doesn't matter. Because you know how it is, right? You put one sticker on the wall, you know when you take that sticker off, it's going to rip a hole. It's already done it. So then you're going to have to repaint the entire room when you move out. So it's kind of like, just commit to it. Just commit to it. Just like, yep, this is what we're doing. And the offshoot, yes, is that, you know, I can put up whatever I want on the back wall there. It's actually pretty big. If I'm being honest, if I did this in A2, it would actually take up like a considerable amount of size, you know, which is pretty crazy. Oh, that's being annoying. Come on, give me that last thing. I want to put this up, and then you can see how bad it is because I've messed up. Like the positioning is a bit wonky. I know what it is. It's the width of the bloody hangers. The width of the hangers are so wide that when you put them next to each other, you can't put the hangers that close. And so then the holes that I've punched in the corners are too close. And so, you know what I mean? So what it is I need to actually move the hole I'm putting in the corner slightly. And then it will be fine. Alright. It's not bad though. It's not bad. Like I say, if I look at this, let's send a picture into the chat again. There we go. It's not bad, and like I said, I could just keep going, and then you could have it as many as you want, because here's the thing. The size of your tile that you're upscaling changes, yeah? But the size of the page is always the same. So if you have this like hanger system, you can just hole punch any piece of paper and hang them up. You know what I mean? They don't even have to all be part of one picture. They could be all different pictures. It's up to you. Doesn't matter. So all I'm doing really is just making like a swap it out. Let's swap it out. See what I mean about the ricketiness? There's the line. The hangers are in the right place, but they don't always line up. This also sticks out at the bottom. That's okay. But yeah, fine tuning on the placement of the hooks, I think. But I got like 3 more pieces left to go. Man, that's never going to get old though. The whole how when you zoom in on the image, it's actually made up of lots of the other image. I love it. It's so good. Hang on, where did we? Oh yeah, here we go. I gotta look at that one more time before I disappear for the night. Look at this. I love this so much. This is so good. We're just going into another dimension. Into Johnson's Landscapes. Johnson's Landscapes. It's like you opened up the quantum particle and then like inside it, it's just loads of planets and stars and stuff. It's, you know, just more of the same. I tell you what, if you upscale like nature photography, it's going to look great because it's just going to be trees in the trees. Trees on this guy's boot. This is actually, look, that's so funny to me. So here, this just looks like the ground, yeah? It's just the ground, right? There's the boots, the guy's walking away. There's another person in the distance, right? But then when you zoom in on this, what seems to be like a lit part of the ground, it's actually rolling British countryside. I just love it so much. I don't know why, but that's never going to get old to me. Like, enhance, enhance, enhance. That's Worcestershire. My God. They're hiding images in the artwork. It's like a microdot film or something. I don't know. I get a kick out of it anyway, guys. Alright, so hyperscale printing, it works. Maybe you'll be better at framing and hanging the pages up than me. It will work better if you have heavier, higher quality paper. But yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more stuff regarding making things. So, you know, I do actually have a Paradistro themed board game. It's ready to go. So it's funny that Dragon mentioned that earlier. Not Dragon, sorry, Fernicar. Well, maybe a bit of both, but yeah, definitely. It's ready to go. Before COVID hit, I was about to launch it. And then it hit, and we couldn't get any of the pieces that we needed anymore, because half of them came from China, to be honest. You know, like those little plastic counters and stuff that you need for the tabletop board games. Anyway, so... Alright, pretty much wraps us up for the night, guys. I'll put up those other 3 myself in my own time. Enjoy the Hyperscale, like I said. Don't forget to check out the VidGen Companion. It's interpolation, special effects, and upscaling. And then obviously the text engine, which puts whatever text you want into. There it is. That's pretty much everything I got for you tonight, guys. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next time.